I was sitting around waiting and I couldn't get on.
Yeah,
Well,
we got the man on. That was awesome. This is a good team right here.
yes, this is an awesome group, and now, guys, we're live. We're 9 seconds in, guys. This is MMA Fight Pass, the Fist podcast. Myself, Tom Owens. We got Archie Tovar, Gil Medina there next to Archie. We got Chris Arias, and we got Ryan Hodges here, guys. So thank you everybody for joining us. Uh, we're somewhere in the 150s with the podcast. I'm not sure exactly where we're at. What are we, Archie?
Yeah, we're 154 an episode virtual 55. 55
All
virtual.
right.
This kind right here because of our good old friend, or maybe not so much friend, but anyhow, yeah. Go ahead, Tom.
All right. Well, guys, as you know us, normally what we're doing is we're covering the local MMA scene and the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu grappling scene. Today, what's nice is we got a little bit of a different flow here. We got Muay Thai, which is very popular here in the Valley, but we got a couple guys here who are really promoting Muay Thai and Muay Thai competition. Ryan Hodges, give us a little bit of info on what's getting ready to go down here.
Yeah, so uh, pretty much our ideology is kind of like the grassroots movement of Muay Thai, right? Every kind of sport has an incubation period on building, the block of a fighter or an athlete. You would say like T-ball, to Major League Baseball. Now we have a circuit that we created is Point Muay Thai, where it's a development kind of thing to push your Muay Thai skills to the next level. And honestly, you don't have to go to AMI or pro. You could just want to compete. There's a lot of athletes that we get. Even Chris, me and Chris had a show with 240 athletes at this show almost. And it people just want to compete, and we have a safe and controlled environment where they can compete, show off their skills. And we got one, with in Bakersfield coming up September 11th. We have around 40 athletes registered, and it's the same thing. It's safety first, and we want to develop these Muay Thai athletes to the next level, where they're confident, they're strong. It's a psychological thing when you're in the ring too. So when you go into the mat, it's a controlled environment, but also it's a fight. You're going in there to win. It's semi-contact, but it's hard sparring. It's a good time. It's controlled, it's regulated, but you're going in there to win and to win by points. So it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna have a great experience out there.
Oh man, it sounds awesome. It sounds great. Normally, guys, we're watching the mixed martial arts and we're seeing the takedowns and the Muay Thai and the boxing and the wrestling all mixed in together. Um, but at each one of the schools that the coaches I know here in the Valley, almost every school has a Muay Thai program and they do that type of sparring. And I know a lot of these guys, they're not interested in mixed martial arts, takedowns and all that. These guys want to do straight Muay Thai. Now, this tournament coming up, the rules, can you explain it a little bit? Are they padded up? Are they straight Muay Thai rules? Are they international kickboxing rules? Break that down a little bit for us.
Yeah. So the rules are modified Muay Thai rules, right? So everything is legal, but you have to be controlled. You can't be throwing crazy back fists trying to knock out your opponent. The intent is not to knock each other out, but to spar, right? So there's no knees to the head, there's no elbows to the head, no elbows at all. uh, there's no spinning heel kicks if you can't regulate that. When you're doing a spinning attack, you can do spinning back kicks to the body, but when you're doing a spinning heel kick, you can't really regulate the inertia of that technique. You can't really regulate that power, if that makes sense. So it's just modified Muay Thai rules, semi-contact, light to the head, and just flow, work your technique, and just grow together as one. You know what I mean? So we're all one community here. We all want to build together, and you know, um, it's just a good time. It's great for experience. It's great for building the athletes. Everyone has fun. It does get a little competitive. Some coaches get a little upset, but in the end, man, the learning is endless, and we're here to bring that experience to the community. And the rounds are 2 to 3 minute rounds. I mean, 2 to 3 rounds, 2 minutes. We do 2 to 3 rounds because sometimes when the novice division, you get tired right after that second round and you drop your hands. And sometimes when you drop your hands and you're leaning into attack, and someone throws a switch kick or a roundhouse kick, sometimes like you're gonna get hurt. So we want to keep the fighter safe. That's the pretty much the big paramount here, and the kind of just what we really focus on is to keep the fighters safe, let them flow, let them have a good time, let them build experience, and just keep them learning.
Experience for everybody. Now, Gil, you've been around Muay Thai for a long time.
Yes.
Let's get back into the spinning aspect real quick. So to break it down for myself and competitors, okay, you said you can do the spinning back kick to the body, right? But you can't do. So what can you not do? You can't do like a spinning heel kick to the head above the shoulders.
Yeah,
Break
exactly.
that down a little bit.
Yeah, so the reason why we can do spinning attacks. I mean, sometimes like even the spinning back fist is kind of like a gray area because you can't regulate the power when you're throwing the spinning attack, especially to the head. It's hard to regulate, right? So we have to kind of be very aware and conscious of those techniques. When you're throwing a spinning back kick to the body, you're throwing it to the body. But when you're when you're twisting and doing a spinning heel kick directly to the head, and up kicks to the face, we don't want anyone doing cheaps to the face. Anyone doing spinning heel kicks to the head, because that could be a potential knockout. We don't want anyone getting knocked out at these shows, so we have to regulate on certain techniques.
Okay. Now you've got a good amount of competitors already signed up for the show. What are you looking to get, man, for that day? Because there's going to be a lot of guys wanting to sign up for this. How many fights would you prefer to have on this day?
Is this for
What
Gail
are you
and
thinking?
Archie?
What are you thinking for Ryan or Gil? What do you think? How many bouts throughout the day are you looking for?
Go ahead, Gail.
Well, we're trying to get as many people that want to do this because you've got a lot of people that train and train and train forever. And this is their chance to come out here and see what they got. They spar at the gym. You got some guys that train at home, and this gives a good opportunity for these newcomers to come check it out. It keeps these gyms going because it gives the gyms uh, okay, there's events coming up. It keeps the students engaged because if there's nothing going on, people lose interest. And this is the second thing I see a lot of my lads going on. What they ask you, what are they training for? What are they going to do with it? So this is why I talked to Archie. Archie, we got to get something going in Bakersfield to get these kids. And there's a lot of these kids need this for their self-esteem, for themselves, for get them off the couches, get them off everything. This is what I do. This is how I run the program in my gym because a lot of these kids don't have anything to do, and this is why I like these programs that help these kids compete or not compete. They're working towards something.
Get them out of the house, get them off the video games. Now, Chris, you're training all the time, man. You got students and partners. What do you think about this Muay Thai? I know you do the MMA and grappling and all that. Do you always have guys getting ready for the kickboxing as well?
Yeah, man. We're always competing at something. We're a competitive gym. When people come in, I tell them straight off the bat. I tell the parents that they don't have to compete. They don't have to compete, but we're a competitive gym. And when we go and we're training to get everybody ready for a competition, no matter if you're going to train or not. So when you're in the gym and like say our jiu-jitsu class or our striking class, there's always one person in there getting ready for something. So we have to treat it everybody. We have to treat every class, every session as somebody's out there getting ready for some sort of competition, if that makes sense. And this is why I reached out to Ryan and Daniel and the whole PKB system because I needed something. I needed something for my guys that wanted to compete, that wanted to fight. But I was like, dude, I'm not going to throw you. I'm not going to throw you in an amateur kickboxing fight yet. I'm not going to throw you into a amateur Muay Thai fight yet. You know, I feel like in this day and age, amateur Muay Thai and amateur MMA, it's almost as close as to pro. It's some of these organizations are running better shows than some pro organizations. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, you get guys competing now since training since they were little kids. So I don't want to throw somebody out there in the amateur circuit that's not ready. I've seen it. I've seen it too many times. And me as a coach, I have to take care of my guys. When my guys go in the cage or in the ring or whatever it is, I it's I'm the one responsible for them. So if I'm throwing them in there not ready, hey, yeah, you could do it to fight. I'm like, no, dude, you're not ready. Let's not to say the PKB's baby steps, but we need to get you experience. You need to know how it is to get punched in the face by a stranger.
Yep.
So, and that's why I'm so passionate about this whole the points multi system. And dude, it's insane. If I could go to every show, if I had a guy telling me, "Hey, I want to fight in this place. I want to fight in this place," I would go to every single one if I could.
Well, hey, it's really, really true, man. The whole people, students especially, they get it's a misconception when you hear them say, oh, it's an amateur fight coming up. It's an amateur MMA or it's an amateur smoker. Hey, that amateur is just a word. Like last night, we were at 559 fights again. And they call it amateur, but hey, those dudes that are getting in that ring, man, they might have some shin pads on or whatever. Hey, back in the day, they would have been considered professional fighters. And they're going at it, and I've seen some real skill out there. I've been pretty impressed with our local fighters and, the guys that are coming in from out of town.
Oh, it's insane. It's insane.
You've been out there. You've been out there.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, we have champions from those from our gym and that organization that started 0-0 and worked all the way up to the state championship. And I know what it takes to get to that level. And that's exactly why I tell my guys, like, no, dude, we're going to do these PKBs if you like it or not. Like, we're going to do them. And it was my job when I first brought the PKB to the Central Valley to educate the whole Central Valley, because 99.9 of everybody had no idea what it was.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. It's great what you guys are doing, man. One thing that's cool, I can't say it enough, is the crew that we got going on today, man. Ryan, Chris, myself, Gil, and Archie. Hey, we have like the same type of a vibe that we can get together and do this type of thing, and we all get along. You don't see that all the time, and it's kind of a rare thing nowadays. But everybody that's tuning in, Keo from Fresno, thank you. Laura Roberts, thanks for tuning in. We got a lot of people that are tuning in, and man, hey, people are getting excited about this kickboxing. There's I think you're going to see a lot of cage fighters too that are going to go out there that want to just, you know what I mean? On that day, there's cage fighters that want to keep it on the feet, and it's going to be a good chance for them to put their boxing and their kickboxing to use. But, man, I'm excited, man. Archie, what do you think about this upcoming Muay Thai?
Well, you know what? I mean, I've worked with Chris on the first IKF, I believe it was. And I've always been, Tom, you and I have been involved with the MMA community, coaches. We have a gym and we do our thing. But technology and MMA, like a media company, we've been out there helping a lot of people. So, Gil, I've known him, I don't know, a lot of years, and we see each other everywhere. And he says, hey, Archie, I need some help to promote. And I talked to Tom, I talked to our crew, and I said, well, we have time, and we love the sport. We love, all of MMA, right? And because we do a lot of, the hardcore MMA training, but we got the flip side of the technology side. So, we love to promote, use the technology like we are now, and we're gonna, get with you and help them out, because I know we know people from up and down the state, but just like Gil was saying, Bakersfield needs and deserves some mixed martial art events, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of fighters that, there's a lot of kids out there. Like right now, I have guys fighting at 559. I got guys, professional boxers. I'm everywhere, and I had even guys do it. I got my kids, I had a lot of my kids do pancreas. I do everything I can for these guys. But when I saw what Ryan was doing with this gives me a base for these guys. Like I have like 6 kids and 2 little girls are going to sign up for this to do their first fight because that's going to give them a foundation and it's controlled. They're not gonna, and then as they develop, they can get better and they'll do harder and then they'll move on to the other stuff. Like I got all my, I have like 6 of my guys that did. They're doing this, and then they're gonna do MMA fight. But they're starting here to get them better for that, and it helps them with the crowds and everything, like the environment with like people around them, so they can focus on what they're doing. It's just a good base.
It's a good base. It's a good safe environment. That's what. When you go to a lot of shows, it might be whether it's jiu-jitsu, wrestling, MMA, boxing, kickboxing. It's really up to the promoters and the guys throwing it if they're going to have respectable referees that they trust a lot. You guys will have that. I trust you guys to have that. And like you're saying, to have your own kids get in there, are the younger kids and maybe the teenagers, are they going to have headgear? You're gonna have all the pads. What's the deal with that?
Yep.
Right. So you answer that right. They have
headgear. Like I said in the beginning, safety is paramount, and it is our job as referees, as judges, to keep the fighters safe and keep them controlled, and also know the rules. That's why I'm doing quarterly kind of instruction on how to teach these refs, how to teach judges on how to score, on how to ref. Right? Because I think in the sport, even in MMA, even Muay Thai, I don't think there's a lot of training going on for referees, for judges. Like, people are just coming in as a referee or a judge, not really knowing the rules, or they have a karate background, or they have a they have a certain degree in boxing only, not Muay Thai. So the thing is a development to teach our staff what the Muay Thai rules is. We have a whole list, and like I said, we do quarterly just training on what to do, what not to do, and also when we go there, we do like little like engagements of like, okay, what if a fighter's throwing crazy haymakers or this or that? What are you supposed to do? What hand signals are you supposed to say? Because I think a lot of teaching, even like what teaching should be, is hands on. A lot of people, like for me, for example, I can't really read something and be like, okay, this is what I do. I need like actual development, actually like engaging. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're here to do, and we're here to teach and kind of just create that foundation of a striking platform for the MMA community, for the Muay Thai community, for the kickboxing community. Whatever you want to do, we're going to be there to help teach you, evolve you to the next level, and grow you as a fighter, and be there for you from day one to your pro. We're doing pro shows now. We have a whole whole curriculum. We do amateur Muay Thai fights. We do pro fights for Muay Thai. We want to be the embodiment and the core purpose to develop these athletes, and I think we're doing a good job. And we have a great team, and Bakersfield is ready to rock and roll.
So cool, man. Bakersfield, that's where I got family living over there, and friends and coaches. And from what I understand, that there hasn't been a lot of this kind of action over there in Bakersfield. So this is going to be cool, man. This is going to be really cool. I know me and Archie are going to be there, hands on.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I think everyone's gonna have fun. I mean, like Chris was saying, Chris is a really great example of what he did over in Fresno, Madera area, right? His first show, 45 athletes, maybe 50. Give or take, right? Big stadium, but he's seen the the greatness of it. This is greatness as sliced bread, and he understood. Okay, what does it take to kind of promote this show? And then his next show, he had 150 athletes, and honestly, it was right before the pandemic, and it even helped his gym stay open. Through the donations of the fighter, that kind of that that fundraiser type thing, because it is a fundraiser for a gym too. You know what I mean? Because you get income coming in for putting the show on and helping the fighters get this experience. It's also a great fundraiser for the gym in itself from the hard work you guys are doing. So that helped them stay afloat during the pandemic too, through
Yes.
the PKB. You know, and everyone's enjoying it. We have an algorithm that makes it very fair. We probably spent $5,000 to $10,000 on a matching algorithm, the only point Muay Thai algorithm that matches fighters according to everything, and also goes into Google. You know, because Google owns everything. You know, it sees who sandbags, sees who has amateurs. Maybe they have a pro, and it targets what fighter is registering through the system to make sure no one's kind of like, you know, you do have sandbagging in the point. It has sandbagging anyway, you know. But we want to be ethical. We want to be fair, and we just want to provide the greatest experience that we can for the athletes. You know, like I said, I was a prior fighter, and I understand what it takes to kind of you know, give back to these fighters and help them out in this crazy road show that we're living in. You know. So.
Definitely. It's a crazy deal, but you know, the good thing about today and with the technology and all this internet and Google and
Yeah, it's crazy.
you know, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard if you have a lot of fights, pretty hard to get away with the sandbagging nowadays. But so that's a cool thing right there. And Chris, man, I just want to say something about Chris. You know, he's a very, what I would say is a good example of a martial artist and a great coach. And he's a great team leader. Every time I see him backstage at the MMA shows or grappling, whatever it is, he's got a guy or two fighting. He's right there with him. He's got the whole team behind him. And even if somebody on their team isn't fighting or competing, they're still there backing their team up, and they're right there behind them 100%. So, yeah, Chris, thank you for doing what you do. I'm sure he's real busy today, but we'll see Chris again soon. Gil, now talk a little bit about the spot that you're in right now. That's one thing we haven't talked about today. The location of this show. Where exactly is it?
Well, it's Elite Fitness Center. Well, Ed gave us a good job to kind of he's helping us get this thing off the ground. So he helped us out because, like I said, it's what happens in Bakersfield. A lot of the stuff a lot of people don't want to help each other out, especially when it comes to this, because this is the realistic. They'll see a show and they think everybody's going to make a ton of money. No, it's not about that. We're trying to get something going for our guys, for everybody around us. So, like I said, me and Archie go out there. We do the footwork. I've been around a long time. I had guys fight here all over, Pro Combat, American Combate. I've been everywhere. And what I do, I help out my guys 100%. Through fundraisers, when we went to Texas, fundraisers, pay everything I did. So I know what it takes. And this facility, he came out and gave us a hand. Here, we can do this, and you can do this. Go ahead. And he gave us a deal, and it helped us out. You know what I mean? And we're going to throw several shows here because it helps us out, and we're not worried about too much, just promoting and what we need to do, get everybody on board. You know what I mean? Because what hurts us is if we have to worry about money all the time, then it kind of kills us. You know what I mean? If you're like, okay, we know where we're at, we can get the things going. Now it's easier, so you can feel everything. And in Bakersfield, I kind of want to unite everybody because I see a lot of things going on. Try to get everybody on board. Let's do this. Do this. And a lot of people are scared of making moves like this. I'm going to take a move. I take a chance all the time. And this is the second chance I do it. I'm doing this because I know I need to do it. Something inside me told me I have to do this.
Nice.
Yeah, I have to do this. I've been in the game so long, and Bakersfield has nothing like this. I see we travel all over Arizona, Texas to go fight and all this. Why not? I can set something up for my guys or everybody else to do something. You know what I mean?
It could be so big right here, dude.
Yes.
There's so many schools, man. Right here in the valley, there's so many schools.
And then we just gotta. There's a lot of. We gotta open everybody has to open their eyes and see the bigger picture. And then that's what I'm trying to do. Get everybody to open their eyes. and say, let's do this for that. Stop all this bickering. Let's get this thing going. Let's get our students going so we can build better fighters over there at 559. You guys start them here, take them over there. You want to start them here. They want to do this for a little bit. Build their records, get us some experience. Even the little ones, even the big. If you just want to try it out, because a lot of guys train. I want to try it out once. Here it is. You know what I mean? It's just a good opportunity for everybody. But we just gotta, like I said, open our eyes and stop thinking about everything else. Focus on our students, the community, to bring something to us. And this is one of the things that we need to do. I've been doing what I've been doing for so long, and from a lot of the community helps me out. Everybody, they look at me, they help me out, they do this. So I'm trying to get back by doing these shows for their kids, for everybody else, so their families can see their son, their daughter compete. Instead of them traveling all the way there, just get something going here. We need this for our community. And I know, like Ryan said, it's gonna take work, but I'm down to push in the work. I'm here to push in work to get this hung off the ground. And it is everything else. We just gotta get it going. That's it.
Yeah, and Tom, just like Gil said, I mean, he's doing the work. I mean, he did an outreach to us, right? I saw him. I don't know, but anyways, he did the outreach. So it's not like hey, let's do this. No, Gil already had the passion, the vision, the forethought. He just needed. It was a good partnership, the technology, and that's what a show needs, right? A show, what's a show without, a podcast, the technology, the live streaming. And so we're going to actually live stream, if we use 2 mats or 3 mats, every mat will be live streamed.
We'll be live, for sure.
Yeah. I have great connections in Bakersfield. That's why I can do this, because this is why everybody knows who I am, and I help out as much as I can. So they know where I'm at in my center self. You know what I mean? So a lot of businesses like this come out. What do you need? Let's try to push this out for me, and they'll help me sponsors a little bit here, a little bit. Everything counts that we're trying to do, and you know what I mean. I want to try, but we're trying to try to do everything we get. We want to put it into these, so these can grow, so these kids have more to do with more and more. But it becomes something that we can set something every 2-3 months a year, so they can be okay. I'm gonna get ready for this fight. I'm getting ready now. When they're at their peak, they can always move up to. If some of them want to stay in Muay Thai, I'll get them a higher level. Something else, I'll just talk to Ryan. He'll help me out with there. You know what I mean? But this is what it's out. Getting these kids. I remember when I started fighting, there was nothing like this. You went in there and you're done. You went in there, you made 100, 150 bucks in your day. Remember those days? This is something that it was. I wish we had this back in the days.
And Gil, remember this? Back then, in our early fighting days in jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai, whatever, hey, we would have to not only pay for the event, but we would have to travel like to Vegas or LA or to Frisco. There was always some type of traveling involved. And no matter what the price of the tournament day is, when you have to travel, you got to think about gas, hotel, food, the family. It ends up costing a little bit of money in the end. What I trip on here is all of these. I know me and Archie know most of the coaches in the gyms right here in the Valley. There's a lot of them. And every weekend, these guys are all taking these trips, man, like out of town, out of state. Even this weekend, we had 3 different schools leaving the state to compete. And, it costs a lot of money. I really trip out on like what you said. Why don't all more of these local schools we get together and do these things right here? You know what I mean? Your price is a decent price. It's right here. It's close. You don't got to get a hotel. Man, I could just see if all the schools in Bakersfield, here in Visalia and Fresno, all got together, that day would be something else. It would be sick.
Yes.
And I was just going to say, we even got the schools on the other side of the Great Plain, right? I mean, the Ventura, the Oxnard, the Bakersfield, the other side of Bakersfield.
Yeah, like an hour, 2 hours away. That's a good distance. It's not, you know what I mean? I remember I drove like 21 hours just to get to Texas to fight 9 guys, and when I got there, I only fought like 6 of them because they didn't match up. And, you know what I mean? You know, when I went to Arizona, I had to spend tons of money just to get rooms and everything else. Lucky my guys got fights. If not, you know, I would have been. But we take a chance every time we go. So this is why it's good. That's why that's how I talk to Archie, and I talk to him, hey, I need to do something here. It's I need to get something going here to get these other people going because we don't have anything. If they can do it, if we're drawing out a pair, why can't we can set something here and do something here? You know what I mean? And hopefully we can we want get people aware of what's going on and get this shit off the ground like we want to. You know what I mean?
That's it right there, man. There's no reason why we can't do it. Archie, what else you got, man? What else you got here?
You know, I mean, I was going to say, Ryan, and actually, as Bill was saying, this show is a preparation for the step up. And I'm not sure, Ryan, if this is your first show, if you've had other shows, but aren't you getting ready for like a pro show or for you yourself, for your organization, or have you done pro shows before?
I haven't done a pro show yet, but we almost locked in a pro show for our September 25th amateur fight, but we have around 26 confirmed fights for that event. It's going to be at the Warrior Stadium. You know, and also every fighter gets an NBA ticket too, a little incentive. And also we're doing on that show we're doing free trips to Thailand on certain athletes who knockout of the night, and it's a double header what we're doing too. So in the morning show we have the Point Muay Thai going on. We have about already 175 athletes registered for that show. You know, and then,
awesome.
And then at 4 p.m. we have 25 full contact knockout action Muay Thai fights. We have about 6 titles on the line too. So that's what I kind of want to, what you guys are understanding the vision of this. It's a kind of you're able to implement your strikes in the Point Muay Thai, and then when you get to the big leagues, like the amateur circuit, you're ready to flow. You're not like, you're not shell shocked. You're not in fear. You're ready to put down the line because you've been there psychologically. You've been on the mat, so you're ready to go to that next level competition. And instead of just maybe getting knocked out or going into the amateur circuit and getting injured, getting hurt, and your ego gets bruised and you never want to fight again. That's why this stepping stone is so important for athletes to get their feet wet, to move on to the next ranks, because it could be damaging to their psyche if they go too quick. You want to get your experience, man. Experience is what life's about. We're not getting any younger, so get what you can, keep growing, and keep learning. The learning is endless, man, and we're here to give it to you. Give you that experience. So.
And Ryan's so right on that. I see so many guys that just jump in here because they think they're tough. And
exactly.
You understand? Or they're street fighters or whatever. They think it's gonna be easy. This is a smart game. These guys we're smart fighters. We know we're looking, we're learning adjustments. They're just some of these kids that I coming out. Some of them are natural athletes, and they just have it. Like, and some of them, they look. Some of them, being honest, some of them they're okay, but they have flaws that they show them that you got to go work on this. You got to go work on that, because some of my guys, even if they win, I still see flaws. I say we can't do that. You're lucky. You can't do that. You're lucky on that one. Even in the MMA fights, when I see him, you're so lucky he didn't get that. You know what I mean? But that's why I started. This is why I like this. All my guys need to do 3 to 4 of these before they even jump into whatever.
It also helps create like a better version of yourself. As a Muay Thai athlete, it comes from Buddhist philosophy. It's all about self-mastery, right? Me personally, and that's what I want to kind of share to these other athletes. Shed the ego, be a humble fighter, and be a better version of yourself, inside and out. And that's what kind of this development kind of Muay Thai league that we're doing, for the Point Muay Thai circuit is so vital, because it creates a better version of yourself in the Muay Thai aspect. You know what I mean? And just as a human, competing definitely changes you, but we want to create athletes that are humble, their ego is checked, and they're ready to just be a better person and all.
Yeah, we have in our area in Fresno, Malia Pit. He has a good fights. He's like, we did inside the dojo. We was in his school, like maybe about 8 years, no, maybe 5 years ago. But my point is, back then, 5 years ago, everybody had to do the time to do Muay Thai tournaments, I guess, if you will, right? One guy, a local guy from Fresno, Manny Mancha, kickboxing. You probably know Manny Mancha. He was a pedigree under Nalipet, and he just became so good in Muay Thai that he went to across the United States, Amsterdam, to do some events. I mean, a guy from Fresno, but out of the Malipet pedigree. So there's always been good pedigrees of Muay Thai and around the valley. But the outlet, the outlet is my point. Now there's an outlet. Point Muay Thai is a good starting point, and it just builds from there. You know what I mean, Tom?
Absolutely.
I do know what you mean. And man, most of the guys, I mean, there has been a lot of Muay Thai, but it seems like it's been the MMA fighters that have been like really digging into the Muay Thai so they can bring it into these cage fights. That's where we've seen most of it. Even my school back in the day when we were trying to learn Muay Thai, we would usually drive to San Francisco to that Fairtex Academy. It was in Fairtex, and then another bigger guy named Gunyao. You probably know who those guys are, Brian. They're part of the Fairtex clan. But you go into those gyms, and those guys, I mean, they're dangerous, but the most gentle people you would ever meet, friendly, no ego. You go into the gym with the respectful attitude, and you could learn anything that they were showing. It was really something else. Really cool, man. Really cool.
That's what it's about. When I traveled, I was in Thailand for 3 months for my professional fight out there, and I came back a way different person. Just learning the culture, that whole Buddhist mindset. And
I bet that was awesome.
Getting my butt kicked too. By these Thai guys. They're just they're a different breed, man. And it's like football in America. That's all they do every day, and they're just so genuine and nice people. Just living there, and just experiencing that. I just want to bring that back here and kind of create that foundation. You know what I mean?
You're doing a good job, man. I mean, we've been on the MMA for a while. Since we've seen it evolve. And wow, this is much needed, though, Ryan. I mean, congratulations. This is perfect, and I'm glad Gil reached out, and now we're family and try to grow the sport with you, right?
The universe brought us together, man. We're here to life's short, man. Let's provide. Let's be light workers here, and let's put some light on the sport the right way. Let's do it ethically. Let's do it correct, and let's just create this beautiful experience for people and just keep it going.
Yeah,
so
definitely going. To people that talk about registration, the website has been scrolling down at the bottom of the ticker tape, but this is the site. There's a few Muay Thai events taking place all the time. We're the third one down there on the line, but coming up. But here's our flyer.
Archie.
Yes.
Archie, give us the exact details of what exact website does everybody go to that want to sign up for this?
Yeah, it's here at the bottom, at the ticker. At the bottom, it says pointmuaythai.ca.com. And when you go there, it'll take you here and also, here we go. It'll take you there, right? And then from there, you click on the Bakersfield event.
9/11.
Yep, 9/11. And then you click on the registration link. And then it'll start taking you where you want to go. Start registering.
Okay, now, Gil and Ryan, let's talk about this real quick. The weigh-ins for this event, are you having weigh-ins the day before too, or are the weigh-ins only the day of? How's that going to go down?
Yeah, so how we're going to do that, we'll probably do day of weigh-ins. Only time I do day before weigh-ins is if we reach, that 200 level, that volume of athletes, right? Because it is tough to get all the athletes registered, and also we want to be really diligent on the matchmaking, because in this circuit, right? They're very novice, man, and we have a lot of coaches and corners that are very beginner too. They don't know the game, so our job here is to teach them the way, right? So you have fighters that are 20 pounds over, 25 pounds over, like a ridiculous amount of weight, right? And they get a violation. You know, it's technically pretty much you lose your bout if you're going to be 20 pounds over. We're going to try to find you a bout, and you don't notify us, you know. But we still want to give them that experience and teach them, right? So the reason why we do day before weigh-ins is if we have 200 athletes plus. But for this show, we're gonna do day of weigh-ins in the morning and get them all coordinated and rematch them up if we need to. But for the most part, people usually show up on weight. So
yeah, that's a good idea too. I like the idea of that. It gets a guy from cutting all that crazy weight and being unhealthy to actually coming in at a weight that's closer to your natural weight.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to teach them. Like, you guys don't need to cut weight for this. Like, you are, they're cutting 15 pounds, like 16 pounds. Like,
it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
That's what I'm trying to teach these kiddos. Like, you guys do not need to cut weight for this. It's not a professional fight. It's an incubation period to learn, to teach yourselves, to implement what your coaches have taught you in a controlled and regulated environment that is safe, and where no knockouts are allowed. And you don't need to be cutting all that weight, man.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
There you have it. So, man, dude, Madera Martial Arts, thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate it. We really appreciate it.
That was Chris.
Yeah, Madera.
That's Chris right there. Yeah. Hey, guys, man, anybody else out there, hey, you could always hit up me, myself, Tom Owens, or Archie with MMA Fight Pass. If you have anything that you want to promote, it could be jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, MMA, kickboxing. Hey, we're here for all of our local guys. Even if you're not local, you want to promote, you can get a hold of us and we'll have a podcast just like this and we'll promote your event. So just like this one right here, a lot of you guys may not have known it was getting ready to go down. Now you do. 9/11, Point Muay Thai Fight Night, Bakersfield, California, guys. I can't wait, man. This is going to be so cool. Anything else, Archie?
No, we can start wrapping it up. Gil, you want to add anything else?
Make sure guys sign up. Let's get this thing rolling. Let's build it and come out and show your skill level. All ages. I mean, what's the age limit?
5 to 50.
5 to 50.
Pretty much all ages. I mean, I think one time we had a 6-year-old compete, and we had him against a 55-year-old, and they just wanted to. Like I said, they never competed before, and they got to compete. And it was a really close match, and they told us at the end, like, this is the best thing I ever did in my life. So it goes to show you, man, competition is beautiful, and we're here to bring it.
Yeah, competition to a person, man. You don't have to be the greatest athlete, but in any sport, hey, you do a competition, man. It can change your life.
Oh my God, 100%.
Yeah, it could change your whole perspective on life. So that's cool. Well, I know my school and here in Visalia, we got a ton of people that want to compete. This is your chance, guys. It's a good, safe way. Fresno, Bakersfield, we got all these schools around here. Clovis, we got a ton of people. Hey, get a hold of myself if you want more info. Get a hold of Archie. You can go to this website right here. Good way to learn some more stuff. And just keep training, guys. You got a little bit of time to get ready for this. Not till 9/11, so some of you guys are already in shape, but hey, you can put your mind on it, visualize it, and talk to your coaches and start sparring, getting ready for it. And we can't wait to see you guys there. If you have any more questions, you can contact any one of us, guys. So
awesome.
That's all I got to say. Ryan, you got anything else for Gil?
No, I appreciate you guys. It was a great time with y'all, and let's continue the light work and create this outlet.
Nice.
All right. Well, Archie, let's be there. Let's get a couple more cameras on hand. So we're going to be playing a lot of these matches live, guys, during the thing. So, you guys, if you can't make it there, you'll be able to see it live.
Awesome, guys. Blessings.
Yep.
All right.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Gil, you have a good day. It was good seeing both you guys again.
All right, guys.
All right, everybody out there, MMA Fight Pass out.
All right. Okay, Tom, we're going to end the broadcast. Beautiful.